Has Sue Ellen's reach for the bottle gone too far? Has Dusty's anger got the better of him? Or will Cliff Barnes finally settle the score? The wait is over tonight as we find out who shot JR at 9 p.m. But first, it's your friendly Thamesmen.
Do that on Cohen Week, should I? How you doing, George?
Why shouldn't you do that on Cohen Week?
Because he's all like, you know...
Peace and love? Not a cowboy.
No, he's not a cowboy. He's not a Canadian. He's anything but a cowboy. He's a poet. He's got muses. You know, he doesn't do finger guns.
Okay, right. But finger guns.
Anyway, hello, everyone. I'm Alex. I'm in San Francisco.
I'm George. I'm in Los Angeles.
You reached the Light Reaction award-winning one of the best, actually, up there, I think, reaction channels.
I watch it the whole time. I wouldn't be without it, honestly. No. Yeah,
absolutely. We did a vote, and we've awarded ourselves best reaction channel for over 40s.
Between 40 and 41, I think that's wasn't it?
Anyway, welcome. You're in the middle of Cohen Week. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second. So what we do is on our channels, we have weeks curated by our subscribers. So thank you, subscribers. And this week is done by Brian Roy. So thank you, Brian, for all your great hard work. I really appreciate it. Brian sent in that he would like to do, and he picked 5 tracks, and he sent note 6 tracks of Cohen, and we picked it up.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Alex knew Cohen. Alex loves Cohen in a non-biblical sense, and I had nothing. I knew nothing, and so this is the beauty for me of this channel is getting a chance to learn and explore something, which is obviously, as I'm finding out, flipping fantastic. So,
and I think, and I only recently got to know Cohen in the last 4 years.
Oh, really?
But the reason being that once you get into Cohen, and then you get to know the reasons behind the songs, and then you get involved in his life, and then, you know, you start watching some documentaries and reading the books. It's like his life is so much richer than mine would ever be. Right. And his morals, not all of them, but most of them, are just phenomenal, you know, the way that he then gave everything up and ended up in a monastery and everything, and then came back. It's just a fascinating story.
A life well lived.
I would like to live his life.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's amazing. What an artist, what a poet. So
this one is Famous Blue Raincoat. I'll read the words, shall I?
Yeah. Would you like to? Do you want me to? Yes. You can do it. Yes.
No, you do. You read it. You read on this one.
Okay. All right. Let's give it a go. So, and just for those, before we start, there might be a bonus track coming up from another famous artist. So stick around.
And we did this before. We did Hallelujah, and then we have Jeff Buckley, and it's a great juxtapose to hear artists sing his song. And, you know, this artist who then covered him at the end, we'll talk about that in a minute, because it will also be fascinating.
Yeah. So Famous Blue Raincoat is a song by Leonard Cohen. It is the 6th track on his 3rd album, Songs of Love and Hate, released in 1971. I have a comment on that in a minute, but I'll get to that in a minute. The song is written in the form of a letter. The lyric tells the story of a love triangle among the speaker, a woman named Jane, and the male addressee, who is identified only briefly as my brother, my killer, since. The famous blue raincoat to which he refers actually belonged to him and not someone else. He has said, I had a good raincoat then, a Burberry I got in London in 1959. Elizabeth thought I looked like a spider in it. This was probably why she couldn't go to Greece with me. It hung more heroically when I took out the lining and achieved glory when the frayed sleeves were repaired with a little leather. Things were clear. I knew how to dress in those days. It was stolen from Marianne's loft in New York City sometime during the early 70s. I wasn't wearing it very much towards the end. I wonder where it is now. The song has been covered, and I wonder if anyone knew how relevant it was as a thing. Anyway, the song has been covered many times by many artists, including Tori Amos, Joan Baez, and Aurora. whose video will be our bonus. So
Dun, dun, dun.
we've loved Aurora, but anyway. No, okay. So Songs of Love and Hate. Do you remember my favorite band a long time ago was a band called the Godfathers?
Oh yes, I know.
And they had an album called More Songs of Love and Hate. Now, I'm not comparing them with Cohen, but I wonder if that was a reference to Cohen.
No, totally. And also, the track below, let's not give it away. Have a look at that name.
Well, which track? What? Which one?
The Tomorrow's track.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Right. So there's,
there's definitely links. Okay.
There are many links to many musicians back to Cohen. And we've been, doing the other videos and like for Buckley and Aurora. No, apparently when Aurora was singing, then so they did a concert after he died, to sing her songs, and the manager of the show heard that Aurora was a huge fan, called the management and said, would Aurora like to do this song at this show in Norway as a tribute to her? And apparently it took less than 30 minutes for the answer to come back as 100% yes. I think when you get into Cohen, you get into Cohen.
Right. Because something there to appreciate and get your teeth into. So
yeah.
All right, so let's start with his version, Leonard Cohen.
Yes.
Famous Blue Raincoat. Where is it now?
Where is that raincoat? God.
I wonder if someone took it just for the sake of taking it, or did someone take it because it was the Famous Blue Raincoat? Who knows? A mystery.
It's a mystery, isn't it? I'm going to find it on eBay.
You're right.
Someone's going to start tracking it down now.
No, it's a bit late now if it's lost in the 70s.
No. I read about some guitar that got stolen from some musician in like some era or whatever. Anyway, this guy got obsessed with it, started tracking it down, and he found it in Japan from the flame of the wood, and finally tracked it down and bought it.
I saw about that. Yes, that's an amazing story.
Yeah, gave it to the musician who loved it, who then bought a sister to guitar of it, like, literally numbers away from it, and gave it to the guy who gave him the guitar back, as a repayment. Yeah. So I think that, I don't know. I don't know if a raincoat will survive as much as a.
No, guitar's a different thing, isn't it? Let's face it. But, yeah. Anyway,
can you imagine stealing the raincoat and then, like, 3 months later, you hear the song Famous Blue Raincoat? It's like, oh, shit.
Oh, crap.
It's got leather bits around the side.
Right, exactly.
Shit.
Wow. All right, let's hear the song.
Kirby. All right.
Hold on.
3, 2, 1, go. Nice and cheery.
It's 4 in the morning, the end of December. I'm writing you now just to see if you're better. New York is cold, but I like where I'm living. There's music on Clinton Street all through the evening. I hear that you're building your little house deep in the desert. You're living for nothing now. I hope you're keeping some kind of record. Yes, and Jane came by with a lock of your hair. She said that you gave it to her that night that you planned to go clear. Did you ever go clear? Oh, the last time we saw you, you looked so much older. Your famous blue raincoat was torn at the shoulder. You'd been to the station to meet every train. Then you came home without Lily Marlene, and you treated my woman to a flake of your life. And when she came back, she was nobody's wife. Well, I see you there with a rose in your teeth, one more thin gypsy thief. Well, I see Jane's away. She sends her regard. And what can I tell you, my brother, my killer? What can I possibly say? I guess that I miss you. I guess I forgive you. I'm glad you stood in my way. If you ever come by here, for Jane or for me, well, your enemy is sleeping, and his woman is free. Yes, and thanks for the trouble you took from her eyes. I thought it was there for good, so I never tried. And Jane came by with a lock of your hair. She said that you gave it to her that night that you planned to go clear. Sincerely, L. Cohen.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Whoa. God, that was well recorded.
That was, but what I mean, what lyrics in just like so many different images.
Yeah.
And sometimes you understand what he's going with, and sometimes you're like, what? I need, like, honestly, my very first time listening to it. So that's the first time I've heard those set of lyrics, and I have so many questions.
The Going Clear.
Yeah, what's that?
Scientology.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I wondered if, because that was I wonder if that was a reference to that.
Yeah,
Why was that coming?
There was one of his friends was into Scientology at the time, and and that night she was planning to go clear. Did you ever go clear?
I wondered if it was a reference to that. I thought that was okay.
Yeah. So I had to look that one up when I first heard it, because I thought Scientology, and it was, yeah. But the famous blue raincoat that's ripped at the shoulder, I just there were so many images, and he puts you in New York on Clinton Street, and it's cold, but he likes living there, and here's you a line like, it's really cold outside, but I like living here. It's like, oh, okay.
But the other one, which I thought was a really clever, like, or for me was just sort of painted so many images, was like coming back from the station without I can't remember the exact, without Marlene Dietrich or something like that.
I didn't catch that one.
And that sort of paints for me an image of like sort of Berlin and station. When you have the word station and Marlene Dietrich together, it's a sort of different world, the time, that's just, again, something triggered in me, but so who knows?
But I mean, I know Clinton Street down in Brooklyn, and and it's with the brownstones down there, and I know where he was, and I can picture the houses,
Were you stalking him then?
No, brother-in-law lived down there, and and that's when I stumbled on it when I was walking down there. It's like, oh, it's Clinton Street, and okay. It gets freezing in New York,
Of course, yeah.
And it was, but he paints these vignettes, but also so well sung. He just leans back in his voice. He puts no effort into it. The opposite. He works very hard not to put any effort into it, and to deliver it to be word first. And then the backing singing and the strings were exquisite, so far off in a distance. Please listen to it in headphones.
Yeah, you've got to do that. And again, just brilliant production. Just less is more. Perfect.
So
So I'm guessing Aurora's version. So this, so for any of you who haven't been following what we do on this channel, Aurora was a great revelation to us. She is what do we say, like a wisp of light.
She's a photon of light.
A photon of light who has a stunning voice, and just So please, if you haven't heard Aurora, go and check some of the other videos we did, or go and look up Aurora, because...
Well, watch this first.
Well, obviously, right now.
Her voice is crystal clear. She's Norwegian. She's a very eccentric singer. And first time I met, we listened to Aurora, it was like, what's going on? But then you get into... I can't wait to hear what she could do to this, with her emotion and her crystal clear voice.
Well, because again, she's very much in that school of less is more kind of singing, just like... And hot and fantastic pacing, and just the ability to hold that sort of like that tempo. So
let's do it.
Okay.
This is live, and this is the concert for Cohen, a tribute. And as I say, that they asked her, and within half an hour she said, yeah, she wants to do it.
Okay, perfect.
All right, Famous Blue Raincoat, Aurora. 3, 2, 1. Go.
It's 4 in the morning, the end of December. I'm writing you now just to see if you're better. In New York it's cold, but I like where I'm living. There's music on Clinton Street all through the evening. I hear that you're building your little house deep in the desert. You're living for nothing now. I hope you're keeping some kind of record. Yes, and Jane came by with a lock of your hair. She said that you gave it to her at night when you planned to go clear. Did you ever go clear? Last time I saw you, you looked so much older. Your famous blue raincoat was torn at the shoulder. You'd been to the stations to meet every train there, and you came back without Lily Marlene. You treated came back. She was nobody's wife. Yes, I see you there with a rose in your teeth. One more thin gypsy thief. Well, I see Jane's way. She sends her regards. Brother, my killer, what can I possibly say? Well, I guess that I miss you. I guess I forgive you. I'm glad that you stood in my way. If you ever come by here for Jane or for me, well, your enemy is sleeping and his woman is free. Yes, and thanks for the trouble you took from her eyes. I thought it was there for good, so I never tried. Jane came by with a lock of your hair. She said that you gave it to her that night when you planned to go clear. Sincerely, Cohen.
Sorry, my apologies. It was Lily Marlene, not Marlene Dietrich.
She did that song some justice.
She is a phenomenal singer, isn't she? You know, I mean, you know, I was just sort of thinking, but I think the Leonard Cohen version was better.
Yeah, so do I, actually. But they both wear their emotions on their hearts, and she seems very vulnerable and fragile, and and eclectic. And I think that he was obviously very emotionally driven. I don't know who did Aurora better. I mean, they're very different, but I mean, that was phenomenal.
I mean, not saying it was a bad, but it was a.
Yeah,
I mean,
God, it's amazing.
And she is completely compelling to watch and listen to. Again, it's that complete control over dynamic range and ability to just speak the words with perfect intonation.
Well, I got back into Cohen's lyrics on that, finding new things.
Yeah,
and about the killer, and just the simple
the brother, my killer, or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, but also the simple line, "I'm glad that you stood in my way."
Yeah, what exactly? What
I know, but just that one, you got all these musicians talking about, Highway to Hell and this and that, and then I get stuck on, "I'm glad you stood in my way." Just that one sentence was just like, I loved it.
Yeah,
it was a whole story in 5 words.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. And there was, you could like write a dissertation on a song like that. You know, you could write a thesis on you know, the fact this is called the famous Blue Raincoat, but it only makes one appearance in the whole song.
Yeah. But what an appearance. And you know it got ripped at the shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
At the shoulder, and it's just like, it's such a strong line.
Yeah.
And who else will sing about their Raincoat? And it's phenomenal. And the thing about Cohen is, yes, his lyrics are great, but his hooks are so good as well. And yes, they're kind of, you know, quiet or whatever, but he writes exquisite music to go with it. So the more you listen to it, the more the hooks get into you, and he gets into you.
And I love the conceit that it was a letter.
Yes.
You know, and it ends up being signed L. Cohen, you know.
Yeah.
And I wondered how she would handle that bit. But it was, I
wondered how she would handle that, but she just kind of went straight through. I thought, you know, they always say you die twice. It's like once when, you know, you die, and the other time is when people stop talking your name or remembering you. So, and that was maybe one of the last times that, you know, was she saying his name? Yeah. So I wondered if she would be poignant on that as well. But
no, it was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous track. I mean, this Leonard Cohen week has been, I'll be honest, I was a little bit nervous about it to start with, not knowing, just a very bad preconception of who Leonard Cohen was or what his music was. Astounding, completely mind-blowingly transformational music.
And we've only just literally scratched the surface, because I mean there is a whole, I mean they've made documentaries on different portions of his life, and he does, I mean, like the whole Hydra part or the whole monastery part, they are their own documentaries, and he's that intense as a person.
Right. Wow.
I'm gonna go clear.
I hope not.
No. Thank you very much, everyone, for, if you're still here. I hope you are, because I mean, that was phenomenal for me, and I hope you listen to it in headphones as well. Because and also, if you don't want to, you know, watch it, go and listen to it on your own. It's both these versions are just phenomenal, and I hope hope you revisit this again and again, because Cohen deserves it.
Yeah. So we've got maybe one more version for this week, if the governor lets us.
Hopefully. And then obviously like and subscribe, because we've got Canada Week, Aussie Week, Chisel Week, Rush Week. We've got so much coming up. It's frightening.
Need more hours in the day, my friend.
All right. Be well. Take care. See you on the flip side.
Thanks for being here.
Jars.